It's not every day that you come across a hidden gem like this, so of course I had to share this with you guys. Psychopomp is a psychological horror first-person dungeon crawler that incorporates a lot of old-school mechanics while still making the entire experience feel pretty unique and new. The entire time that I was playing Psychopomp, it felt like I was experiencing a strange dreamscape from some kind of psychologically tormented person whose memory was fragmented into small cryptic pieces that I was trying to puzzle together. And I'm not gonna lie, even after beating the game, I still don't really have any clue as to what the game is actually about. But that unknowing of what was going on is kind of what made this such a unique experience for me. So many games these days are just so cut and dry. You jump in with a very clear objective, with massive waypoints telling you where you need to go, a short yet straightforward message telling you exactly what you need to do, and the stories are sometimes as simple as, hey, this guy is bad, go kill him. Now don't get me wrong, I don't think that this is always a bad thing, and there are many games that do exactly this that I do enjoy a lot, but I find it a breath of fresh air whenever a game does come along that is just so strange and it forces you to figure out everything yourself, or it makes you try to puzzle things together to figure out what the story could be possibly about without ever directly telling you exactly what's going on. The desire to try and figure out what this world is and what these strange creatures are, and just trying to piece together my own theories while exploring a strange world just makes the entire experience a lot more fun for me. But before I go any further, I do want to make it clear that the version of Psychopomp that I am talking about in this video is the free version of the game and not the gold version. The free version is a full game, as far as I'm aware, but the gold version, according to the Steam page, is basically the base game, but with remastered levels, which I'm not really too sure what that means. But it also has new modes and secrets, new levels, and a bunch of new endings, along with many other additions. It's basically an expanded version of the base game, as far as I can tell. So, with all that said, let's jump in and explore this strange hidden gem. So once we start up the game, we are met with a cinematic that tells us the backstory of why we are seeing the strange world. I can see the Earth from here. I can see my house. Everyone, everywhere has secrets. Did you know that everyone has a special power and that they kept it a secret from me my entire life? Where's that secret power? But I won't stand for that. That's why I made a helmet. I call it the machine that lets people read minds, or Psychopomp for short. I wanted to say things, but I can't because this thing is moving too fast. But something happened when I put it on. It looked like the Master Chief helmet. It didn't let me read people's minds, but it did let me see something else, a world that was hidden from me, that everyone knew about. A world hidden in plain sight with all sorts of animals and creatures and dead bodies. The text is moving kind of fast. There are catacombs hidden under every public government building. Oh, well, okay. I will not allow any more secrets to be kept from me. Yeah, so we're going to be exploring a labyrinth, which is pretty neat. I like the labyrinth delving. So after learning about the supposed hidden catacombs under the government buildings, we are dropped into the tutorial area before heading into our first major location to learn about how the game works. The controls aren't that complex or anything, but the game does play like an old grid-based first-person dungeon crawler, which can throw some people off. The major difference between the movement system in this game versus some of the old dungeon crawlers with the same movement system is that many grid-based first-person dungeon crawlers, the combat is either turn-based or it is real-time, in which every time that you take a step or attack or anything, that acts as one action, in which the enemy will then move and take their action, then you, then the enemy, etc. But in this game, enemies don't follow any rules like this, and they don't even have the same movement that you have, so you'll need to be a little bit more cautious when fighting. Outside of the movement controls, if we look at our UI, you will see a purple and red flask, an eye icon, a speech bubble, a hand, a hammer, and a notepad. To quickly explain these, the purple flask is your stamina, the red is your health, the eye icon allows you to inspect someone or something. The speech bubble obviously allows you to talk to creatures as long as they aren't trying to actively kill you. The hand icon is how you interact or touch things, because for some reason you can actually touch the NPCs in this game. The notepad icon is how you access your inventory, and the hammer, well, I'm just gonna let you see what that button does for yourself. Okay, so what does the hammer do? Oh! Well, I guess we found out. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to kill. Oh, I feel bad now. Yeah, I accidentally killed the girl that was just kind of sitting there crying. I didn't mean to though. I didn't know what the button did at the time, but yeah, apparently that is very easy to do. So be careful when selecting your icons, because there were quite a few times where I almost killed an NPC because I still had the hammer still active. Shortly after, we come across a door, which is how we learn about our inventory and using items. So to use a key, we just have to open up our inventory, drag the key to the top of the screen so that the inventory is minimized, and then we click on the door. It's pretty simple. After this, we learn that there's a free cam button so that you can move the camera around freely using the left control button so that you can see your surroundings a little bit easier. But personally, in these kind of games, I never really use this button that much unless I'm looking around when trying to solve a certain puzzle or something. Also, dog. Yeah, it's a cute dog. Not very talkative though, but after we found the dog, we also find the portal that gets us out of this tutorial area and into the world map where we can begin our journey. The world map consists of 3 areas: the sewers, the children's hospital, and the public school. I'm only going to be talking about the sewers in this video since I feel like this is one of those games that you kind of need to experience for yourself, and I don't want to spoil too many of the strange things that happen later on. Again, this version of the game is free, and most of you watching this should be able to run it, as this game doesn't really need a beefy PC to play. However, if you are unable to play this and want to see more of the strange world, I did do a full playthrough of this over on my second channel, so I'll have a link to that in the description if you guys want to check that out. Also, I don't know how much of this is actually in the gold edition, especially since everything has apparently been redone or remastered or whatever, so there's a good chance that what you see here might not be the same as in the gold edition. Anyways, with that out of the way, out of the 3 locations, you are able to go to either 3 without following any particular order. The only reason that I went with the sewers is just because it was the first one, so you can kind of do it in whichever order that you wish. When entering the sewers, it doesn't exactly look how you would expect a sewer to look. When looking around the entrance, there's a fountain, an elevator, and a bunch of doors that don't really appear to go anywhere. Open up! Let me in! I don't know if they're going to appreciate me banging on the doors with a hammer. Let me in, please. Do I touch it? I wish to touch the door. I want to feel it on my fingertip. Let me try looking at it. I don't think the doors do anything. Water treatment, human waste being processed and cleaned, made acceptable for consumption again. Ugh. Chemicals being added to chemicals to remove chemicals. If water treatment is for our safety and concern, why is there an elevator heading straight into the human waste? Yeah, so all 3 locations have these weird elevators that take us deeper into the labyrinths, and it's definitely a bit of a mystery as to why these are here, especially in the sewers. So that's what we look like, by the way. We look pretty cool. We look a little crazy, but other than that, other than looking psychotic, we look kind of neat. It is here that we come across our first NPC in the sewers. What are you? I can't see you. I can't see you. I need a better look. Oh wait, that's right. I can. You know what? Let me not smack you. No, hey. Okay, I'm about to kill the guys before I haven't even talked to them, man. Hi, hey, look, the double stalked thing looks at you with all of its eyes. It seems to beckon you. I had a hard time reading that for a second. Let me try talking to it. Oh, I didn't expect that. Oh, hello. My, aren't you a cute one? Oh, thank you. Kawaii stalk. It's literally called a kawaii stalk. Say, isn't there nothing better than being tangled up? Oh, okay, we got a BDSM freak here. Would you like to be tangled up? I'm good. I would rather not. It's not really my cup of tea. What happens if I touch it? You try to touch the stalked thing, but it grabs your hand. You just barely manage to pull your hand free at the last moment. You know what that means? Smack them with a hammer. Yeah, I smacked them with a hammer. I'm just gonna kill everything. That's the way to do it, man. If you're playing a video game and you don't know what the thing does, smack it with a hammer. That's all Half-Life is. It's just running around smacking things with a crowbar and hoping. Oh my god! Hi? I did not expect there to actually be creatures jump scaring you. That was creepy as hell. So you remember what I said about the enemies? Yeah, these guys are pretty freaky and don't really follow the same movement rules as you, so you do have to be careful with them, but luckily they don't attack very fast, so it does give you enough time to react. However, they do move pretty fast, so you do have to be cautious about that if you're trying to run away. Adventuring further into the sewers leads us to a locked gate and a small note from somebody. The note itself doesn't really make much sense, but there's a cool self-portrait at the bottom. Who would have known that a sewer creature could draw? There's also a lever next to the door, so I activated it to get through, which takes us to the church area and also another enemy. This is also where I learn a really helpful combat tactic. Oh wait, you can't go through here? Oh, I've cheated the system. I'm just gonna keep smacking your butt until you die. Boom, there we go. Keep smacking them in the butt and then they'll pop. That's, wait, okay, that sounded weird. After getting rid of the enemy, we come across a strange looking church where we get our first health vial. Behind the church, which doesn't really look like a church, we will find another NPC who is a woman belonging to a race of creatures known as Thrites. Hello. Hello, how are you? You look neat. Let me put away the hammer so I don't kill you. Ugh, you startled me. This holy place has been overrun by those sparkled eye freaks. I can barely do anything to keep them away. Is that so? Do you need me to smack them with a hammer? I can do that. Does any sparkly-eyed freaks want to pop out and try and go boo? Because I will count out your eyes. I'll do it. After talking to the Thrite woman and going on the defensive to prevent any sparkly-eyed freaks from sneaking up and touching my butt, I came to a realization. I'm lost as Yeah, there's no map in the game, so navigating can be a little bit confusing, but after using the most advanced navigation technique in my arsenal, known as just walking in random directions until I find the right place, I eventually did run into another sparkly-eyed freak and learn one of the cruel realities of this game. Oh my god! Oh my god, I hate that! Oh, I hate that! Oh, I hate that! Oh, I'm dead. I really shouldn't have used my health potion. Rip. Well, I guess we're gonna have to continue. Wait, did it start? It started me all the way back here? Are you serious? I have to redo all of that? Yeah, so there's no checkpoints in this game, meaning that if you die, you have to redo everything on the level again. The levels themselves aren't super long. I think they're only about 30 or 40 minutes, less if you're rushing. So dying isn't a huge issue, especially considering this version of the game is only around 2 hours long. But it did make some of the combat a little bit more stressful, and it was a little annoying at times when you have to redo everything that you've already done over and over and over again. Also, the health vials that you obtain are very limited and they don't really heal that much health, which can add a little bit extra stress toward the combat when you've been exploring for 20 plus minutes after your third death, worrying about if you're going to die again, and then you have to redo all that progress again. I never went up in this area, did I? Oh, wait, this goes up? Yeah, so I found a completely different path. You're another creature. Wait, aren't you the person from earlier? No, this is a different thing. The Thrite woman stares back at you, suspicious of your intentions. Can I talk to you? Thrite woman, watch your step, wayward. The bridge is out. I'll be coming back to this bridge later, but for now, I make my way back to where I died to get my revenge. Where are you? I know you're around here, so— oh my god, it's running. Oh my god, it's running. Yes! Oh, we did it. We did it, and I'm only half health. God damn it. Oh, my poor health. Shortly after, I found another NPC, which is called a nugget. Yeah, this one wasn't hostile, but because they look similar to the enemies, it can be a little confusing. The main way of telling the difference is that every enemy in the game seems to charge at you before you even see them, so there likely won't be a situation where you just kind of see one casually standing around until you get closer. But anyways, talking to the nugget, we learned that these creatures live off human waste, which is— it just sounds lovely. But also the nugget mentions how their queen, who we will meet in a little bit, actually uses the waste to turn into flesh and milk. I'm not sure what they mean by flesh, if that means to create more of these creatures or if it's just flesh to eat, but either way, I don't really want any part of it. Maybe I should kill it. I think I'm gonna kill it. It's dead now. I don't regret that decision. It deserved death. Continuing down, we find another locked door in a hallway that can lead us to another one of those creepy creatures, which apparently is the queen's biggest fan. There was also a key in this room, and this NPC seemed very attached to it since the key was given to it by the queen. So, like any sane person would do, I try to make a deal with the creature by smacking it with my hammer. Some might call it cruel, but I call it a strategic negotiation tactic. After grabbing the key and dipping out of the area, I head back upstairs to where that one locked door was where I had last died. And as you would expect, considering that the key came from the queen, behind the door, we will actually find the queen in her room alongside 2 more of those weird creatures and yet another key. Talking to the now called royal nuggets, don't know why they're called nuggets, we will learn that there is a guillotine that is set up before the queen above where the queen is actually forever just stuck at. They also mentioned that all queens must eventually be recycled and a new queen take their place, so we've actually got to go and activate the guillotine. I'm not really sure why killing the queen is necessary, if I'm being honest, or why these creatures think that I'm, psychotic enough to actually kill any kind of living creature. Anyways, I just kind of want to get out of here, so I grab the key and head back toward one of the doors that was locked downstairs, which throws another one of those monstrosities our way and takes us to a staircase up to a lever, which will activate the bridge that we saw earlier, which means now we have to make our way all the way back to the beginning of the dungeon to find the bridge. Oh, why does this sound so creepy? Oh, this sounds so creepy. Oh, that's so creepy. I don't like it. Dude, okay. Let's talk to you real quick. The bridge was raised, but there's nothing over here. I had hoped that there may be food here, that I could bring to my village, but I suppose it was just a pipe dream. All that is here is a lousy, rusty lever. I wonder what the lever does. Did you check to see what the lever does? It might be something cool. It might be pretty neat. Maybe it's food for centuries. Grab the hammer. What did that do? I didn't know what that did. Did I kill the queen? You know what, maybe I should go check that. Did I just murder the queen? The lever we just hit activated the guillotine, which kills the queen, meaning that the cycle of these weird nugget creature things continues. Or it probably would have if I didn't kill all of them. Going back to the queen's room, we will find her headless body and a strange new item. Also, I'm going to guess that the royal nuggets that would have normally been here probably would have had some extra dialogue if you talked to them after killing the queen, but for some weird reason, they seem to have mysteriously vanished. Weird. Also, that new item that has dropped, the orb or with some kind of like fish creature inside of it, yeah, that's an earth egg. One of 3, at least in the free version of the game, which I think is supposed to be used to recreate the earth or something. I'm not really too sure, but once we collect it, we get a fancy screen telling us that we collected it and then teleports us out of the dungeon and back into the world map where we can continue onward to the next 2 places. I'll save spoiling what the egg is used for or what strange things are going on in the next areas on the map, since my whole purpose of making this video is to try and just get some more eyes on the game rather than, you know, just straight up tell you all the details that you need to know about the game so that you can just experience the entire story without you ever actually touching it. This is a dungeon crawling gem that deserves to be experienced, especially if anything that you've seen so far has seemed interesting and you are able to actually play the game yourself. Everything about this game is very strange, from the weird aesthetic, the unnerving enemies, the NPCs, the way that you interact with the world, and even the music. I mean, the music alone gives me this weird sense of an unworldly atmosphere, almost inducing dread at times, but in a strange, calming way, which doesn't really make any sense at all when you think about it, but neither do most of the things in this game, so. In Psychopomp, things aren't meant to be clear, and I love how somehow the developer managed to match all of the audio to the environments and just the overall tone of the entire game. One thing that I do want to mention is that while I was making this video, I realized that when I would Google search Psychopomp, the game itself wasn't the first thing to actually pop up. It turns out that the word Psychopomp is used in various forms of religion. The Wikipedia article for the word states that Psychopomps are creatures, spirits, angels, demons, or deities in many different religions whose responsibility is to escort newly deceased souls from Earth to the afterlife. And scrolling down on the Wikipedia article, it also appears to be used in psychology as a way to describe a mediator between the unconscious and conscious dream realms. I never heard of the word before outside of the game, so after seeing this, it really makes you think back on everything that's gone on in the game. For example, are the creatures that we talked to, those that we destroyed, were they all demons? Are we playing this as a mediator meant to guide some spirits and help them along? Also, what the hell is up with the helmet that we have on? Is it actually supposed to be some kind of device that somehow helps us see into the afterlife? Or is it supposed to be some kind of symbolism that we're trying to fight through our own demons in our head, reliving our own tragic events that might have happened at these locations? And maybe these reoccurring elevators that take us deeper into these areas, maybe that's the game's way of suggesting that we're actually just going deeper into our subconscious to fight these demons. I have no clue. I'm not a game theorist. But now that I know the meaning behind the game, and after having experienced everything within the game itself, it's hard not to let my imagination run wild for a second to try and come up with my own theories, regardless of how incorrect they might be. But what are your theories? Have you played this game before? If not, then I can say without a doubt that this is 100% worth checking out. And if you have played the game before, I do ask that you please try to avoid any possible spoilers. If you do know anything about what's going on in the world, some of the fun that comes from this game is creating your own theories after all. If you guys enjoyed the video, then maybe do those YouTube things, like, subscribe, all that stuff. And if you didn't enjoy the video, then why the hell are you still watching? This video is a bit different than my usual ones, but I wanted to try something a little bit different, and it's been pretty fun so far, so maybe I'll do some more like this in the future. Who knows? And maybe one day I'll actually get around to checking out the gold edition for Psychopomp whenever I don't have a billion other games in my backlog to go through. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to self-care, and I hope to see you guys again in the future.